Shocking statistics reveal that immigrants with no criminal history now account for the largest segment of individuals in U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE detention. According to recently released government data, the number of non-criminal immigrants detained has overtaken that of their counterparts with criminal backgrounds. This development highlights a significant shift in the approach to immigration enforcement under the Trump administration. On a Thursday, ICE unveiled its latest figures, revealing that 16,523 individuals in immigration detention have no criminal records, outpacing the 15,725 who do have such records, and the 13,767 who are facing pending criminal charges. In total, there are 59,762 individuals currently held in ICE detention across the United States, with the rest being apprehended by border control officials. For the first time during Trump's second term in office, the number of immigrants without any criminal history in detention surpasses those who have been officially charged or convicted of crimes. This data contradicts the narrative often cited by officials from the Trump administration, who portray their dragnet as focused primarily on apprehending dangerous criminals. A former civil rights official from Homeland Security commented on this alarming trend, stating, "These individuals are hardworking members of society. They are not criminals at all." This anonymous source suggested that the Trump administration might be broadly defining criminal to include anyone living in the country without documentation, despite the fact that being undocumented is categorized as a civil infraction, not a crime. The Guardian has been tracking the arrests, detentions, and deportations carried out by the administration using ICE's published figures. Historically, ICE has taken on the primary role in detaining immigrants. Previously, the Customs and Border Protection (CBP) agency managed most apprehensions at the U.S.-Mexico border. Since January, Trump has enacted measures to effectively restrict access to the southern border for immigrants, even for those seeking to exercise their right to asylum. Interestingly, before this administration, the proportion of individuals detained by ICE without a criminal history was relatively low, but earlier in the year, top officials in the Department of Homeland Security (DHS) instructed ICE to ramp up their operations to arrest approximately 3,000 individuals daily, resulting in a staggering annual target of 1 million arrests. To bolster these efforts, ICE has received assistance from federal officers from various agencies, including the FBI and the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, while numerous local law enforcement bodies have put themselves at ICE's disposal to participate in immigration enforcement. In response to media inquiries, Tricia McLaughlin, who works as an assistant secretary for public affairs at DHS, stated, "ICE is focused on targeting the most egregious offenders among illegal immigrants, such as murderers, gang members, and sex offenders." A substantial 70% of ICE arrests involve individuals who have criminal convictions or pending allegations in the U.S., excluding those connected to suspected terrorist activities or other serious offenses. The intensified immigration crackdown has led to a troubling rise in so-called collateral arrests. This occurs when ICE arrives to execute a warrant for one particular individual, but ends up apprehending others who happen to be present at the scene. The consequences of this tactic have seen numerous immigrants with no past criminal history facing detention and deportation, thereby potentially ensnaring individuals who are legally in the U.S. as well. A recent high-profile operation involved federal agents conducting a raid at a Hyundai factory construction site in Georgia, detaining over 300 individuals, most of whom were of South Korean descent. Although initial claims suggested all those apprehended were undocumented, later reports indicated that at least one detainee possessed a valid visa but was still coerced into a voluntary exit from the U.S. Such actions have sparked diplomatic tensions between the U.S. and South Korea. A former DHS official lamented, "There's an ongoing trend of demonizing immigrants, creating scapegoats, and spreading misinformation. It's a dire situation." In late August, ICE's detained population surged to historic heights, exceeding 61,000 individuals. Facilities across the country have come under fire for reportedly engaging in inhumane treatment of detainees, although the administration continues to deny any claims of substandard living conditions. As the new fiscal year approaches in October, immigration enforcement is poised to benefit from historic levels of funding that have been allocated through legislation passed during summer by a Republican-controlled Congress.